What's up? Hey Freddie, hey Mary, hey Nathan. Hope y'all can hear me. I never check. I'm awful at this. How's it going though? Let's see. Perfect, it worked. Alright, well I hope y'all are doing well. It is 9:45 my time, Mountain Time, here in Edmonton, in Canada, if you didn't know. Oh. I was a little scattered as I was setting up my live stream today, because I had accidentally deleted the live stream coming shortly video when I changed it to the Sunny Corinthos screen. Hey Angel. And so just before I clicked live I realized it was the Sunny one, and I had to track down the old loading screen and put it back up. But I'm here, that's all good. Yeah, how was your guys' weekends? I hope you had a good one. Mine was pretty quiet, honestly. But that's okay. Don't know what to think of Valentine. Yeah, it's an interesting story that they have going on. Actually, Anna and Valentine is the first thing I have in my notes, so we're gonna get into that right away. But yeah, what's up, guys? Welcome to General Hospital MV, my GH after show. Let's get into it if you guys are ready. Apologies in advance, my allergies are acting a little bit wild today, so if I sound stuffed up, that's why. Or if I run off screen, I'm probably having a sneeze fit. Something in the air out here. It's actually driving my whole family crazy, including the dog. Ooh, and the music fades out as we're about to begin. Starting it. There we go. Okay. So yeah, let's kick things off by talking about Anna and Valentine. When we last left off, Anna's house was burning to the ground, and this week we kicked things off the next day while Anna is mourning the loss of her house and everything in it. Everything was burned. Valentine showed up to support Anna, regretting having to be at ELQ the previous night, and Anna is very unsettled, not knowing if whoever burned her house down waited till she left or assumed she was upstairs sleeping. Dante shows up to Anna's and takes her over to the PCPD to get her statement. In it, she mentions going for a jog as well as Valentine's whereabouts, and Dante felt compelled to look into whether or not Valentine was at ELQ or not. Not sure why he had a reason to be suspicious beyond, I guess, their own history together, but whatever it was, it led to discovering that Valentine's car wasn't seen going in or even leaving ELQ. Oh, hey, come on. Yeah, my weekend was uneventful as well. Esme is still a snake memory or no memory. We'll get into that too later. Where was I though? Oh, yeah, so Anna, she also had her own reasons to be a little suspicious, because aside from the fact that he hadn't ever discussed his connection with the Pikeman Company, by the end of the week, shortly after checking into the Metrocourt, Martin shows up to their room and Valentine acts like he has no idea why he's there while Anna's in the room, but when he thought she wasn't, she overheard Martin mentioning that Valentine was the one who summoned him there. And when Valentine goes to take a shower, Dante calls her and lets her know that Valentine wasn't at ELQ the night before the night that her place burned down. And then we get easily one of my favorite scenes this week, honestly. Anna pretends to be sleeping when Valentine comes out of the shower, and when he tucks himself in, Anna just says, very monotonely, "You lied to me." Probably just to see how he'd react, because then she just states that he said that he'd be 5 minutes in the shower instead of 15, and And then they had this like eerie music playing in the background while showing Valentine looking quite nervous about whatever he's hiding. I just thought it was such a well executed scene. I really enjoyed it, and as someone who has never really been a fan of Valentine and Anna as a couple, I'm excited that she's suspicious of him and clearly has a reason to be. I mean, I doubt it would happen, but you could imagine, like, could you imagine if Valentine had spent his entire time in Port Charles pursuing Anna so that he'd be in the perfect position to get some kind of revenge on her for something she did during her time as a double agent? Like, that would be wild. I don't think that will actually happen because it would be retconning like a lot of their history. But since the show is being written by scab writers, like, who knows? Who knows which direction this storyline will go in? But what do you guys think? Do you think the woman that burned down the house was with a woman? Was what? What do you mean, what woman? As for Valentine and Anna, what if it was Valentine who burned down Anna's home due to him being controlled by Alex? I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I don't think he's under mind control. Hey, Sandy. But it's hard to say. Like, ever since they decided to retcon the fact that the like mystery boss of like Mason and Austin is no longer a woman. Apparently it's a guy now because they just changed the story out of nowhere. And if they're trying to connect these stories with Pikeman, like and like Sunny and Anna, then it's hard to say. And if I didn't say hi already, hey Sandy. Freddie, you said I didn't trust Valentine since day one. I never have either. I don't see what Anna sees in him. I don't either. But I believe he sincerely loves her, loves his daughter Charlotte, though. Well, yeah, of course he does. Is Anna sleeping with the enemy? Hard to say. But yeah, I was getting like cat and mouse vibes. Valentine's playing Anna and Anna's playing Valentine. Dang. All right. Let's move on. Let's talk about Cody and the ridiculousness that ensued this week with him. To sum it up, Cody is firm in his belief, which happens to be true, that Sasha's being drugged to make her seem crazy, and he wants to take drastic measures by showing up at the PCPD and acting absolutely batshit crazy, conveniently around the time Gladys was there to file a restraining order against him on behalf of Sasha, and he actually tries to attack her while stating exactly what he thinks she's up to. But when Gladys demands charges be pressed, Mac actually tells her, if you want to press charges, we would need to investigate the claims Cody is making about you, and Gladys backs down and leaves. Like, at this point, I'm like, that is a major red flag. If Mac doesn't start looking into Gladys after that, I don't know how I will feel. Because clearly that is a woman who does not want his claims to be investigated, and they know what his claims are. So, like, right there and then, why didn't Mac just start like, oh hell no, I'm looking into this. If I don't see Mac and Dante like automatically starting to investigate Gladys themselves, I'll be so pissed. Would he try to unalive her though? I don't know. I don't think so. That's probably, like, if it was Valentine that burned the house down, it's literally, like, it would have to be why he waited until she left the house. Because we saw the person watching Anna leave and then go in the house. Nathan, you said not only that, but Mac hasn't busted down the whole thing with Selena Wu. He seems to be slipping too. Sad days, man. I mean, realistically though, like, Mac was never really a great cop. Like, I can't think of a time where I was like, wow. Well, no, I can think of one time Okay, I'm talking about the past. Like, when I think about the past when he was police commissioner, the only time he got to really be a hero in that situation where he didn't look like a moron was when Kiefer Bauer's dad was shooting up people in the hospital and he killed him, even though he was already shot. Even though Mac was already shot at that point. Acting crazy all of a sudden isn't enough to be admitted into Ferncliff. Exactly. Yeah, let's talk about that part. So yeah, Cody is still acting crazy even when Dante and him are alone in the room together, and he doesn't buy it at all. He sees right through it, of course. He knows he's trying to get himself thrown into Ferncliff, but let's say that cockamamie plan worked. There's no way it would, like he could get into Ferncliff, but he still wouldn't be allowed anywhere near Sasha because of the restraining order that is filed against him. And in order to be moved into a facility with the criminally insane, he would have to literally stab someone and try to kill them. And I don't know if Cody would necessarily... Well, okay, I think that Cody would go through with it by stabbing Dante or something. You know what I mean? He would do that. And I think because Dante is his friend, he might end up keeping his mouth shut. In my opinion, anyway. But yeah, so Dante lets him go despite his craziness. But I doubt we've seen the last of fake crazy Cody. What are y'all saying? You think Gladys is a hero in this situation? Why? She's literally just trying to get out of a gambling debt. How is she the hero, dude? Alright, Mac and Target, oh my god. Mac and Taggart was kind of rough as PCPD, especially early 2000s. Exactly, Angel. I can't picture a time where, in Mac's era of being at the PCPD, where he looked competent. Freddie, you said, what the fuck is wrong with Dante and Mac? Are their brains not working? Instead of constantly questioning Cody, they need to investigate that annoying evil doctor and that thrifting ass Gladys. Nathan, you said Cody's plan doesn't work at all. If he goes through with it and breaks Sasha out of the nut house, then it'll create more trouble. Well, I mean, I think it's kind of like the Carly and Jason thing. When Jason broke Carly out of Ferncliff, they're gonna have to find proof of what Gladys and that doctor did before he tries to get her out of there. So I don't know. But at the same time, if he breaks Sasha out and they go into hiding, she'll be sober enough to kind of realize what's going on. But if she's all drugged up when he first kidnaps her or gets her out of there, then she is not going to be easy to contend with. Alright. But let's switch things up. Let's talk about Esme, Trina, and Spencer. Apparently, Esme is doing a good job at the Invader, and Alexis had invited her out to lunch at the Metrocourt rooftop pool to just let her know she's doing a good job. And then Esme also brings up Spencer a lot during that conversation and how she and him have seemed to find their rhythm together on parenting, and that she's really enjoying working at the Invader as well. What do you guys think? Is she genuine in enjoying the job, or is she just saying that to keep her job? I will say that if she is pulling everyone's leg, she's doing a much better job at it. But I don't think that she has any malice in working at the Invader either. In my opinion, I think she's just doing what she has to do to try to get out of the Cassadine grasp. Because obviously she doesn't want to be around a bunch of people that don't like her, but she also clearly has feelings for Spencer and doesn't want to be away from him so much. It seems very complicated. Oh, Nathan, you said not only that, but why did Sam break into Ferncliff? Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, Sam was there for a brief second just to look in on Sasha. But we never even saw a follow-up. We definitely seen Sam and Dante in bed together talking about their situations of the day, but Sam never brought up going to Ferncliff and seeing Sasha. So I don't know. I just don't know. Angel, you said I'm glad the nurses aren't corrupt, just the doctor. Maybe the nurses will figure it out. I hope the nurses figure it out. But yeah, anyway, back to Esme. A little while later, same day, different episode. Trina is at the pool with Ava, catching up on their lives, discussing Curtis, of course, as well as possibly coming back to work for Ava at Ava's gallery, since her hours would be more flexible there, and it might suit her better now if Curtis is going to move back into the house, and he'll need a bit more extra care himself. Spencer is also there with Ace, and Trina joins them while they're hanging out. Esme is lurking in the background, but she keeps her distance until Trina has to head out. Then she moves in for the kill, taking off her colorful dress, revealing her bikini, which Spencer definitely looks at before looking away and focusing on Ace. I swear to God, y'all, men and their lower halves, it's toxic as hell down there. Man, Spencer, what is he doing, man? What are you doing? Nathan, you said Sante is so boring. Now it seems like they're mimicking J-Sam rock, paper, scissors. So much creativity. Did Sam and Jason play rock, paper, scissors? I don't know. I feel like the writing is slightly better for Dante and Sam under these new writers. But, you know, peg that too. It's just temporary. Are you talking about getting Heather out of prison? Alright. They did back in 2006. Man. See, I don't even remember that. And I was a J-Sam fan. Damn. Alright. Moving on. Let's talk about Curtis. He has started his rehab process, and Portia is still inserting herself into the situation a lot, which I can get, but I also get that the situation is, pretty messed up for Curtis. It's a lot to handle mentally for the person going through the physical part of this turn of events. So I actually do think she needs to respect that he needs some space to deal with this on his own. And even Curtis's rehab doctor, I guess, is whatever they call that, is saying the same thing to her. Like, this is a Curtis thing. Like, he needs to deal with it how he wants to deal about it. But yeah, unfortunately, home life and recovering aren't the only two things Curtis needs to worry about. The Savoy is very much in a vulnerable position because Curtis is a Savoy. He's known to all his customers and clients and takes care of most of the day-to-day business aspects. Selena Wu knows that and does her best to try and take advantage of the situation and offers to buy the Savoy from under him. To which Curtis basically replied, "Screw you, get out of my face." With a little help from Marshall as well. Marshall was there and popped up right when Selena was trying to make that offer. And he already had his mind made up about helping pitch in at the Savoy, because we seen him talking to Portia earlier about that. Marshall may as well take over until Curtis is ready. It would suit him probably better than it suits Curtis, honestly. Hey, Jacarius. Some people said Spencer looked uncomfortable, but I think he was interested. I think he was both interested and uncomfortable with the fact that he was interested. I mean, we can think what we want to think, but like, the reality is, at one point, Spencer was in love with Esme, even though even though he knows that she played him. Now she's this new version of Esme, so to speak, that is a lot more tolerable. She's not manipulative. She's not, I mean, she's a bit manipulative, but she's not like going after people that he cares about. So, it's a complicated situation for Spencer. And I've been good, Jacarius. Thanks for asking. Nathan, you said, I don't know where this will lead up to, but Sabrina Esme now is just too much. Is the rehab at the hospital or set up in a spare room in the house? I think it's I don't think it's at GH. I think it's a rehab facility somewhere else. Like, maybe it's Shady Brook or whatever. Hard to say, though. Curtis can still work. It'll be good for him to get back to work. Yeah, and he said that too, but at the same time, he's also got to focus on his recovery as well. So, yeah. He's got to work his way back up to it, and he will. But in the meantime, like, the reality is his bartender, Nanika, apparently is struggling to both tend bar and also do the day-to-day stuff. So until Curtis is recovered enough to get back to work, then, you know, other people have to pull their weight there. Yeah, the actor that plays Curtis's physical trainer was there before. Yeah, I did read that. I forget who he played, though. He was just an extra at another point, but he was around at some point else. Not playing the same character, obviously. Private facility, yeah. She is being manipulated right now. I know. I just meant, like, she's not, like, evil. She's just currently not evil. But she is a bit manipulative, obviously. Alright. Let's talk about Molly and TJ, actually. This week we saw them interviewing possible surrogates for their baby. And one of them, the first one, happens to be the actor that plays Gregory Harrison, his real-life daughter. And naturally, she's the one that they choose. I'm sure she's great. I'm just not sure how to feel about these back-to-back, like, family hires that the show has done between this woman and, of course, Josh Swickard, who plays Harrison, Chase. You know, like, his wife. So... they're just keeping it all in the family right now for whatever reason. I just don't want another Peter August situation, okay? That shit left me traumatized for like 4 years that it went on. If Spencer goes back to Esme, he is 50 Shades of effed up. Yeah, I agree. It's just, I'm trying to be like zen about the situation because there's probably a lot of rewrites happening, because I'm like, Nicholas Chavez was supposed to leave, and now he ain't leaving for a little while because of the strike. So I feel like they were about to get him to exit in some kind of way, and now they have to kind of rewind that and kind of stretch things out a bit. So we'll see. He also I want to be a soap star on SoapNet. Didn't Kelly Tebow win that as well, or was she just on there? She doesn't realize that she's manipulating. She does. I think she realizes it, but she's just not like... It's just that she's like... She has feelings for Spencer and is like a little bit jealous, but I don't think she's ever going to get to the point where she's going to drug... You know what I mean? Like, she's not going to drug Trina. She's not going to, like, try to kill her or anything. Like... And she's not going to, you know, forcefully manipulate her out of the picture. I just think she's going to try to seduce Spencer, that's all. Because she wants her. Angel, you said, and Trina got to get over the whole my mom must love my boyfriend thing. You are grown, act like it. Mm-hmm. Come on, you said, you know, I think that you know if I was an actor. Sorry, I can't decipher what you're saying, man. Angel, you said the PT was a winner of I Want to Be a Soap Star. He won the walk-on role on GH and played a cop. Then he got shot. Oh. Well, that's that on that. All right. Where were we, though? We were talking about... Oh, yeah, Molly and TJ. So Molly, she calls Alexis, Sam, and Jordan, but not Christina, to invite them over to share the good news about finding a surrogate. But Christina was at the hospital looking for Terry to become a member of the board of her LGBTQ youth shelter, and TJ happened to be stuck at work, hence why he wasn't at the party, and mentions the party to Christina. She shows up to the house to confront Molly, and the conversation did not go well due to, frankly, both of their levels of maturity and not finding a way to be able to talk about this like the adults they are supposed to be. I just feel like the only thing that needed to be said to diffuse an argument before it began is just Molly telling Christina, I just wasn't sure if you'd be hurt by this decision, so I wanted to tell you one-on-one tomorrow. And then she could have even said, you've got your youth shelter to focus on, and I didn't want you to give up something that's so important to you, even though you're willing to. But she had to take the dark road side and be like, it would be something for you to gloat about for the rest of my life. Like, I swear, these girls be causing drama among each other for the hell of it at this point. Like, you would think that Molly was still 11 and Christina was still 17 or whatever they were when they first aged their characters. They're gonna make Molly the surrogate? What do you mean? Christina. Molly was wrong not to invite Christina, then not tell TJ to not tell Christina about the party. Yeah, Molly's being very mean girl right now. Molly is being very Haley. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I went there. I really don't understand where all this. Yeah, like the sudden hatred like that she has for Christina is a bit crazy. And seems from nowhere. And yeah, Christina is a bit of a disaster, but like, you know, she's coming from a good place. Like I don't like, truthfully, do we really think that Molly genuinely thinks that Christina would gloat and hold it against her? Like, it's nuts. Cattiness is coming from with Molly towards Christina. Exactly. Yeah, like Christina, like, I know that Molly, like, I can see where parts of Molly might think that Christina would make it all about her, because she's been like that in the past, but at the same time, like, Christina is clearly coming from a genuine place of, like, really wanting to do something for her sister because she loves her sister, and you know, like, and I think, but I also think that let's say Christina did be their surrogate, and they get into a fight long after the pregnancy is done, they have their baby, and they get into a squabble, and then, you know, if Molly's trying to, like, give Christina advice or something, or just, like, is blunt with her, I can see Christina being like, I carried your baby for 9 months, like, I can see Christina doing that. So, in parts, I kind of get it, but, like, whatever Molly thinks of, like, down the line, like, Christina's coming from a genuine place right now of wanting to help her sister because she sees the hell that her sister was going through. So, I don't know. And, like, Christina, I think Christina, yeah, she has a right to feel hurt that she went with, you know, someone else. But again, if she had explained it like the way I thought that she should explain it, I think that there would have been no issue. But the fact that she was like, you're selfish and I don't want it to be like a gift from you, it's just dumb. It's dumb. Haley deserves it. She will be lucky to avoid jail time. Freddie said, I'm not entertained by all this boring surrogate storyline with Molly and TJ. They're just moving too fast and she shouldn't even be worrying about a child right now. Brooklyn, you said not interested in this two Davis girls storyline, especially when I'm seeing two different actresses and the writers expect us to accept them. Well, it's not the writers, it's literally just like Molly. Like, we would have still seen Haley as Molly if she didn't mess up her life. So, I don't know. The storyline was already planned before what Haley did happened. And if what we've heard about the Christina part of it is true, then like Lexi chose to leave because she couldn't commit her time to GH, and this girl stepped in to play her. So I don't know, because like when Lexi kind of spoke about it after she had left, like she did mention that the storyline that they had upcoming for Christina was close to her heart, meaning that this story was planned out not knowing that Lexi was gonna leave. So I don't know. You can't blame the fact that actors came and went for the storyline. We would have seen the storyline play out even if Lexi and Haley had stayed. It just sucks that it was too little too late to finally give them an actual story. And would I have enjoyed it any more or less than I do now? I don't know. It's not the most interesting story, obviously, but I think if nothing happened and we still seen Lexi and Haley in the roles, I would have been like, well, it's cool to see them in a story, and like that's maybe the only like positive thing that I would probably say if it was still that case. I really don't care if old Molly doesn't have a baby or not. We never really saw Molly and TJ before, and now we are supposed to care if they have a baby or not. Yeah, I just think that they are, I don't know. They were finally just willing to give her a story for whatever reason. Still have a feeling that Lexi got fired. It's hard to say. It's so weird because like Lexi is clearly a great actress. You know what I mean? Like Lexi was fantastic in the role of Christina, and I always felt like she got the short end of the stick, and I can't see why. But we also don't know like what's going on behind the scenes really, so we can only speculate. All right, have a good day, Jakari, or have a good night, Jakarius. All right, moving on though. Let's talk about Sunny, Ava, Austin Mason, and the nanny from hell, Betty Boop or Betty Crocker, whatever. Sunny basically set his plan in motion while he lets the nanny know that he'll be at a meeting for a couple of hours and asks her to watch Avery until he gets back from his meeting. Betty was stoked that she was able, that she would have time for herself in there, and she goes to Austin's office to tell him the great news. Naturally, Sunny's already a step ahead of the nanny and has Dex following her. The only thing that confused me about his plan is that for whatever reason, Sunny wanted Dex to make his presence known to her at a certain point. I mean, if anything, that would just make her be even more cautious going to whoever and wherever their mystery boss is, who now seems to be a he, which I mentioned earlier. Like, it was acknowledged at some point months back that this boss of theirs was a girl, and they changed it. I don't understand why. Either that or they just forgot. Or, they just had no idea who the big boss was gonna be in the first place. Anyway, while Betty was rummaging through Sunny's things, Nina stopped by the house, and Dex and Sunny's other bodyguard refused to let her in, and she was pissed. And I loved to see it. I mean, like, listen, guys. I look at Nina and I'm like, welcome to Sunny's world. I don't know if she was just convinced that Sunny was more Mike than Sunny these days, and that the mob stuff was taking a back seat, but come on. You know who this man is. You know he ain't the fantasy Mike that you had at Dixon Falls, girl. Meanwhile, Carly, who spent the night in jail just to avoid getting Sunny's help, now seems to want his help when it comes to Drew. Not that she asked him over to her place to do this, but Sunny did visit her place unannounced pretty late at night to offer Drew some help since he was in solitary confinement, and Carly asks, can you get him out of solitary confinement? And he agrees. I mean, if you got those connections, Carly, you might as well take advantage of it. Like, she's all, I'm going to take back everything is mine, so, like, take back your connections to Sunny. And let him do your bidding for you. think the doctor works with the woman. I think the doctor works with the woman, and the woman has Nicholas. But that, like, so you think that when Mason and Austin were talking about it's the doctor? But like, I don't know. I just think that they forgot that it was a woman, and that it's just gonna be the guy, in my opinion. But we shall see. All right, let's talk about Eddie Main, you guys, and how Olivia is learning to accept him as is. They had a decent heart-to-heart at the Metro Court, and Ned is grateful that she fought for him when Tracy was, demanding that he get committed. Do you guys think that they're gonna put like Olivia with Eddie Main and have her fall for that personality? Like, it's hard to say where they're going with this story. Lulu, wake up from the coma soon, please. I want to see her spice up the storyline. We can talk about that briefly, because I didn't have this in my notes, but I don't know if you guys saw, Emmy Rylan addressed the potential of Lulu coming back. And Emmy, who played Lulu the last time. And she had said that she is under the impression that when they decide to wake Lulu up, she would be contacted to reprise the role. That's what she said that she was apparently told when she was let go. So she also said that she wasn't contacted. So either we're just reading too much into the fact that we've been hearing more about Lulu lately, only for nothing to really come of it, or they snubbed Emmy and hired someone else, which I wouldn't mind. Y'all know how I feel about Emmy's version of Lulu. And, I would love to see Julie, but I don't think it's going to be her either if they ever bring Lulu back. So, Freddie, you said you're sick of Eddie Main. Yeah, me too. It is interesting that they, like, I don't know. It's interesting to see a more laid back version of Ned, I guess. Like, he's not really like Ned, but like seeing Wally just so chill. So stupid that they don't want to bring back Lois. I agree with you, Kaiwan. I'm so pissed that we haven't seen Lois and that we probably won't. It's so dumb. Alright, but yeah, let's talk about Tracy for a second, you guys, because we had some hilarious scenes of Brooklyn getting Tracy drunk at the MetroCorp pool during a luau themed party, just to keep her from talking about deception for the billionth time. Jane Elliott, I freaking adore her so freaking much. Like, I never not enjoy Jane Elliott, okay? Like, she, in my eyes, she can do no wrong. She is one of my favorite actresses of all time on the show. I always enjoy her. I enjoyed her in the 80s, I enjoyed her in the 90s, and the 2000s eras of GH. So, I love it. And at the same time, as much as she was doing comical things while being drunk, we got to see her be vulnerable, talking about how much she misses Luke. And just how much it's still affecting her, though she never really shows it. So I like that we got to see her kind of open up to Brooklyn about that. And then we got to see her stumble up to Mac and Felicia, who were also at this party, and tell him to, like, lighten up. I just love her. I just love her. And then the poor thing was at home, drunk, and nursing a big headache when Eddie Main walked up and witnessed her being a hot mess. But it didn't prevent her from saying that she'll never stop fighting for Ned. She even feels like she caught a glimpse of Ned when he said he isn't staying at Sunny's because there's too many Goombas over there. Which, I don't know. Maybe she's seeing what she wants to see. Or maybe she's right. Like, maybe there was a little bit of Ned in that comment. I don't know. Because Ned was never a big Sunny fan. But he did say that Sunny was nice. So who knows? Eddie and Olivia's love will prevail, whether he's Ned or Eddie. That's true. I can see that. You hate the Eddie main storyline. Yeah, so do I. I'd love it if they brought Lois back. Then I'd be more than okay with it, but... it's a damn shame that we're having to sit through it. Alright, anyway, Liz and Finn were also at that luau that night, and Becky, oh my gosh, she looked so gorgeous. I love when they do her hair like that, and have it like kind of have this like wet curly look. She looks so good like that. And they had a conversation about how, how okay they feel, and how relaxed they feel with each other this time around, because there isn't wild family secrets looming over them. Little do they know, though, that Finn's about to learn a new secret within his own family that will devastate his world. Finn had gotten Gregory to watch Violet, and as you know, his ALS has been progressing lately, and while babysitting Violet, he takes a fall, which she didn't see initially. She was out of the room when he fell, but she did see him struggling to get back up. And she had also seen him struggling to put beads on a necklace they were making prior to that, when his hands were cramping up. And she noticed that, like, beads were dropping and stuff. And Violet was in her room when Finn got back from his date with Liz, and Gregory waited in the living room while he checked in on her. And she actually is still awake and tells him about the fall and how scared she was for him. So Finn confronts Gregory, and he tells him the whole truth, and I have to give mad kudos to Michael Easton and Gregory Harrison, because they did a fantastic job. They were pulling at my heartstrings, and these are not characters I'm particularly interested in generally. Like, I can take it or leave Finn and Gregory, but, boring characters does not sort of discredit their abilities as actors. And their capabilities as actors. They did such a great job in those scenes. And I find that those scenes moved me far more so far than anything pertaining to Curtis's paralyzed storyline. And I actually find Curtis to be a far more interesting character, generally speaking. So it just goes to show that if the actors are good enough, it can carry a lot of weight when the scripts might be lacking. You know what I mean? Like, the best actors can, like, make gold out of trash. And we see that with, like, a lot of veteran actors. Like, you see that with Vanilla. She can make a storyline as ridiculous of having, face masks on people look kind of cool. So, again, just props to Michael and Gregory for pulling that off on Friday's episode. Tracy looked funny after waking up from that hangover. Yeah, just the wet hair and the towel. Oh, I love Jane. I love Jane so much, you guys. Yeah, and I would love to see Lois return to Brooklyn. Okay, but was that it, guys? I those were all my notes, and I feel like it was shorter than usual. Did I miss anything too important? Like, I know that there were scenes of, like, again, Sam and Dante in bed playing rock, paper, scissors and talking about each other's day, and we kind of brushed up on it, but I don't think I missed any of the important stuff. Mary, you said I would have liked to see Greg and Tracy hook up. I don't know. I didn't see the chemistry between them. I didn't see too much chemistry between them. I think that they work well off of each other in terms of, like, going toe to toe, but I don't think it necessarily transfers into, like, romantic chemistry for them. Angel, you said, I'm glad Gregory finally told. It was ridiculous to not tell your doctor, son, you have ALS. Yeah. And man, like, it sucks because, like, I totally get where Gregory was coming from by not telling them. I think if he had told them from the get-go, it would cast a shadow on every day. And, he just wanted to give, like, as many good days as possible without it seeming like, they're sad and they're just trying to make the most of the time that they have left, and like, they're going to be watching for every struggle that he goes through. So I get Gregory. I do. And at the same time, like, I get Finn's anger towards the fact that he didn't know. Hopefully Gregory's storyline was wrong and he has Lyme disease. Yeah, but didn't he go to a specialist who, like, confirmed the ALS, though? Because that's what he said in that conversation. He said that when he told Finn that he was going to Milwaukee, he was seeing a specialist, and that they diagnosed him. Finn and Liz is like Kool-Aid without the sugar. That's how stale and boring they are. Listen, I don't disagree. I am very take it or leave it with Liz and Finn, but I have to admit I am liking the scenes that they're writing for them lately. Just based on the conversations that they're having with each other, like, and you guys, we talked about this the other week. Just generally speaking, I like when we see the little moments of people having conversations that don't really move the storyline much, but like it just kind of adds layers to their relationship. So I'm okay with what's happening with them. Like, again, I would still rather see Liz being a nurse more often than seeing this relationship between them. But at the same time, like, they ain't got anybody else, and I can't see Elizabeth or Finn with any other people at the moment. So it's fine. That's just how I feel. It's fine that they're together. They're not that interesting, but it's fine. Does Greg like Tracy? I was so confused when he wanted to have dinner with Tracy. I was too. But at the same time, maybe he was just trying to, like, do that as a favor for his son, because Finn and Tracy are close. Finn has mentioned that to Gregory as well. So I think maybe for his sake, he was just trying to get to know her better. He said that the specialist confirmed it was ALS, nothing else, because Finn did mention, are you sure? Because there are a lot of things that look like ALS, but not ALS. But you would think that the specialist would note that too, right? Like, they know that, like, there are certain diseases with similar symptoms. So, like, that had to have crossed the specialist's mind that it could be Lyme disease, right? Kaiwani said, yeah, like, oh, you like Finn and Liz because it's a classic movie's classic. And they're taking the relationship real slow. Yeah, I do appreciate the realism of them as a couple. And that they're not doing, anything extra to kind of make them, larger than life or anything. Yeah, they are healthy for each other, yeah. Angel, you said Liz got a man she gotta lie, cheat, or steal for. Let her have this. Finn isn't problematic, just a little dry. Man. It's about time Gregory told Finn about this disease. They dragged it out long enough, just like that exhausting drag out with Willow leukemia. Yeah, I'm glad that they know, and I'm also glad that Gregory, he didn't say, because I honestly thought this was going to happen, because he was like, I need you to do something for me, and I was like, oh God, please tell me he's not going to try to be like, can you not tell Chase yet? I'm glad that he's like, can you help me tell Chase? That I appreciated, because I was like, if we got to drag this out even longer, I'm going to be so pissed. Oh, that she don't have to lie for. I don't get why Frank and the writers think the viewers want another protracted, supposedly terminal illness story after Willow's cancer. Well, I think, I mean, you're right. But I don't think that they're going to undo this for Gregory. Because he really doesn't serve that much purpose on the show. So it's like, it's okay that he dies. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel, you know. And I guys, I just praised the actor. I think he's doing a great job, but like Gregory isn't really needed. And yeah, he has potential with Alexis and Tracy, but like, wouldn't be the first time that they randomly killed off one of their lovers. Don't care about the conversations I want Liz and Finn done. To each their own, right? And I'm not saying that they don't bore me to death either. I'm just saying that I just like conversations between characters. If we're gonna see Liz and Finn, then they might as well just have these like little conversations. I'm okay with that. They need to recast Lucky for Liz. Yeah, but they were so toxic to each other by the end. You know what I mean? There's a lot of ashes in that relationship. I don't know, you know. I don't know if they can go back to that. And I don't see Lucky wanting to move back to Port Charles either. For what? His dad ain't there. His sister ain't there. Yeah, his mom is there, but she's busy being the mayor. Like, he's just going to go back and, what, become a cop again? Lucky and Liz been over. Yeah. I remember being so stoked when Jonathan Jackson came back. Because I was like, man, now we're going to finally get to see, like, the magic of Lucky and Liz. And yeah, it's in this really turmoil story for Lucky and Liz in the middle of the Nicholas affair. But I also like had faith that they were gonna find their way back to each other, and they really did try. They really tried, and then they put Lucky with oh my god, what was her name? Siobhan. And I really liked Lucky and Siobhan, you guys. I really did, because they were such a like throwback to like the super couple era of like this like this unexpected duo, complete strangers in this intense situation, in an adventurous situation. Like it was kind of like the blueprint of like Luke and Laura and Felicia and Frisco and like those kind of couples. Not that they could compare really, but like it felt like at that point the modern version of that. And I was really like, I really enjoyed their initial storyline. And then they made her like super jealous of Liz, and it just kind of spiraled from there. This is a soap opera. We don't need people that are good for each other. We need dysfunction and conflict. This is a story. Well, there doesn't necessarily have to be a dysfunction for a couple for them to have a good, fun story. You know what I mean? Like back in the 80s, it was all about, yeah, these couples that were like wonderful together, kind of solving like, you know, the problems that were coming at them as a team. What is Lyme disease? I think it's just, isn't it just like similar to ALS, but you don't end up dying, you're just kind of like in that permanent state of like not moving. Fast forwarded through most of the whole show. I'm just not into seeing a good actor sacrifice for a tear-jerking, sappy story. Yeah, but like if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have seen storylines like, you know, Robin and Stone with AIDS and like, you know, BJ's heart. Like, I don't know. Sometimes it's good just to have a character whose purpose is to eventually die. If it's the story that they want to be told. And, you know, this is GH. It wouldn't, like, they can just, if they love Gregory Harrison so much, they can just bring him back as a new character. It seems to be a regular thing on GH, and it's, you know, I always compare it to, like, American Horror Story, where, like, every season these actors are playing new people. And, like, they can bring back whoever they want to play new characters whenever they want. Gregory, the character, is not really important to GH. So they can kill him off and bring him on to someone else. have super experienced actor from Prime Time, and this is all I do with him. I wish I could produce this dang show and do it right. I just say that they could bring him back even if they kill off the Gregory character. It's not the end for actors if their characters die. Look at Michael Easton, who's on his fourth? We had John McBain, Caleb Morley, Silas Clay, and Finn. And with Roger, we've had Todd, Franco, and Austin. So I never I don't take the death of a character as seriously in terms of the actors that play their characters. And maybe it's because I am an American Horror Story fan, so I'm just used to the concept of characters dying and then them coming back as a new person eventually, and I can kind of sweep. I don't know. There's always people that are like, well, why aren't people saying that they remind them of this character? Well, because they don't have to look like the character that they played. It's just, yeah, the actor is the same, but maybe in this world the characters don't recognize that. I know it wouldn't happen, but I would die laughing on the floor if Nina caught Sunny and Carly in bed together. That would be Nina's karma. That'd be hilarious. Bring back Hayden and Lulu. We need some massive drama. I don't know. I just think that they're not bringing back Lulu yet. I think it's just wishful thinking on a lot of our parts because of all the mentions of her. But we'll see. You never know. We're in a scab writer era, so anything can happen. Jonathan Jackson ain't coming back. He lives in Ireland with his family. That's why I said recast. Oh, okay. Fair. Alright, guys, but I think I've talked myself into oblivion here. Because I ran out of things to talk about, and also my allergies are kind of killing me tonight, you guys. So thanks so much for tuning in. I will be live again this Wednesday. I don't know what we're going to react to. If anything at all, we might just be hanging out and talking about GH. It's going to be fun, though. It's going to be fun. But yeah, thanks so much, guys. If you liked this stream, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. I'd really appreciate it. We're getting closer to 1,000. It'd be so dope if I could reach that before the end of the year. But, we'll see. Alright, guys. But have a good night. Peace out. Catch you Wednesday.